How far would you go to win back the love of your life? Hey, everybody, welcome to Crime Over Cocktails. I'm Tiffany, your host, and today we're going to talk about Mary Yoder. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so my drink of choice today is going to be Mick Ultra. That way I can go for a very long time. Mary Yoder, age 60, was a beloved chiropractor. She had 3 kids, Liana, Tamarin, and Adam. She was a wife of 38 years to Bill Yoder, and they shared a chiropractic office for 28 years in Whitesboro, New York. They wanted it to be a family business. They had even hired Kaitlyn Conley as their receptionist, who had worked there for 4 years, and she was the on-again, off-again girlfriend of their son, Adam. And Mary really, she never cared if they were together, if they were separate. She just said, you know what? She was considered family no matter they were together or not. They had a thriving business and what appeared to be the perfect life. On July 20th, 2015, Mary went to work. It was a typical busy Monday. She had more than 30 patients scheduled that day, so we're talking like a 10-hour shift. Everything in the morning went smooth. At lunch, she had her usual, which was a protein shake. And then she headed off to see her mom, who had just moved in with her sister, just to check on things, see how she was settling in. Her lunch is only 30 minutes though, so from 1 to 1:30, and she started right back as normal. It wasn't until about 4:30 when she started to feel really bad abdominal pain, which led to vomiting and diarrhea. So she decided, you know what, I gotta go home. I gotta cut the day short. We gotta cancel the rest of my patients. When she went home that night, she even slept on the couch because she was having a really hard time staying out of the bathroom. And the bathroom was right there. It was just a horrible evening for her. By morning, she feels like she's not improving. So her and Bill, they decide that they're going to go to the hospital. Around 10 o'clock, she got up to go to the bathroom and she actually fell while she was in the room at the hospital. So they decided that they were going to admit her in the ICU at the hospital. The next morning, the police show up at the Yoder residence to tell Bill that he needs to get to the hospital. Over the course of the night, she actually suffered a cardiac arrest times 7. And on July 22nd at 2:54 p.m., she was pronounced dead. Family is just absolutely devastated. They don't understand what happened. Like, Mary was never sick. She never took a sick day. She never called in. She was always very healthy. So they are very, very confused and they didn't understand how she got so sick so quick. Since Yoder died under the hospital's care, a routine autopsy is ordered. They look at the slides underneath the microscope and they can tell something's not right. Her tissues and organs showed that they were under attack, which was a telltale sign of poison. The medical examiner's office contacts poison control for help. So they test Mary Yoder's body for common arsenic and cyanide poisonings, and the results are negative. After 2 months pass, and chemists at the poison control get a positive hit, colchicine. When used properly, it's an effective medicine for treating gout, which is for inflammation of the joints. But if you don't have gout, just a little dab will do you. It only takes a minute. It only takes a minute amount to get somebody sick or to actually kill them. Colchicine toxicity causes fever, abdominal cramping, and vomiting. Basically, all of your liquids completely leave your body. It took 3 months for the results to come back with the colchicine. So now the police are going to kind of have to work backwards, trying to figure out, well, who wanted her dead? When they track down her husband, they're surprised to find that he's now dating Mary's sister, Kathy, who also lost a husband not that long before. So, of course, this isn't going to look good to the police. But come to find out, the relationship really didn't start until after the death of Mary, because since they both lost somebody in a short period of time, they found comfort in each other, and then it just kind of grew. Bill also had an alibi for the day because he never went to the office on that particular day. So they knew that he couldn't have been the one to give it to her because whoever gave that to her had to be in contact with her on that same day. On November 27, 2015, the medical examiner's office calls the sheriff's department. They received an anonymous letter that claims to have information regarding the case. And on that same day, the Oneida County Sheriff's Office received an identical copy of that letter claiming the same. So pretty much they both got the exact same letter. Whoever was sending this letter decided they were going to send it to everyone that they thought needed it and was important. In the letter, it describes that if Mary died from colchicine, that it was her son Adam. In the letter, it also tells them the specific directions on how to find it hidden in his Jeep. It's said to look for a cardboard tube under his passenger seat. So, back on Adam, Adam was really never financially stable. He was one of those never finish what you start kind of guys who is also known to have a temper. When his mother would not help him, he always fell back on his on again, off again girlfriend, Kaitlyn, for help. And she was always there for him. Once she even gave him a check for $20,000 just to help him out. Her family was well off, so he knew he could always count on her. And she loved him. So, I mean, I guess you could say he took advantage of that. So he was always bouncing back and forth between mom and Kaitlyn. He couldn't do it himself. So, of course, they got to bring Adam in for questioning, and he's got no clue what they're talking about. I didn't kill my mom. I did not see my mom. I wasn't even in that area. He decides to lawyer up, and the lawyer tells him while he's on the phone with them at the station, I mean, if you have nothing to lose, let him look. So he's like, fuck it, search my Jeep. So they take him outside with them when they search because they wanted to see his reaction. They wanted to see how he was going to handle this. If they did find something, is he going to look shocked? Is he going to look like, oh shit? So they open the door and then they move this passenger seat back. And there it was, a circular cardboard wrapper with a bottle in the middle. And when they pulled the bottle out of the wrapper, it was a bottle of colchicine. The look on Adam's face was pure shock. They could tell it didn't appear that he knew it was there. So, conveniently, lying with this bottle of colchicine is the receipt for it. And whose email address is on this receipt? It's Adam's. So they're showing him this email, does this look familiar? And he's like, I've had two that are similar to that one, but I've never seen this actual email ever before in my life. They check into his alibi to see if they can confirm that Adam was out of town on the day of the poisoning, and he was. So they knew he could not have been the one to give it to her. Adam tells the police when they go back into the station that actually back in May, he also got sick with a lot of the same symptoms that his mom was having right before she passed that lasted for months. He was in and out of the hospital, and the doctors could not figure out what was wrong with him. They tracked the Gmail account that ordered the drug, and it came back as Bill Yoder as the purchaser. But the location of the IP address is the computer at the front desk. So they're a little confused. So you have Adam Yoder's email, you have Bill Yoder as the purchaser, but the IP address is the front desk. Taking a closer look, they also noticed that the signature that was on it was a forgery. They're shocked. So now they need to do a little digging. Who else is in the office? Well, how about Katie? They discover that in December of 2015, her phone was used to access that Gmail account that was under Adam's name. On the computer, they found that there were many searches on colchicine, looking on how to buy it, what does it do, how much do you need. There was just so many searches there that they realized it had to be someone who sat at that desk for long periods of time. That there's no way it was like an afternoon search. Like this went on for a long time. So they knew it had to be the receptionist. It had to be Kate, had to be Kaitlyn. They bring her in for questioning, and she tells them that, no, you're wrong. It has to be Adam. He's lying. So they confiscate her phone, and they can tell that she's already deleted anywhere from 4 to 5,000 items from her phone. They were also able to find her DNA on the bottle and the wrapper of the colchicine. And at that point, she's like, all right, you got me. She confesses to writing the letter and to poisoning Mary. They were able to put a timeline together to piece together this horrific plan. On September 16th, 2014, she created the email. January of 2015, she ordered the drug. February of 2015, she received the drug. And July of 2015 is when she went in for the kill. Back in 2014 is when Adam and Katie broke up. She didn't take it very well. She was not wanting to end the relationship. This was a revenge over rejection situation. Who would think that someone was capable of killing a woman who actually considered you a daughter, no matter what, no matter what the circumstances were, just to get back at their son? When Mary Yoder died, she was even identified as a loved one in her obituary. Adam told them that when he was getting sick back in May, that she was giving him pills to help him study, and that she would make sure that he was taking him, to the point where she'd either call or text and be like, hey, you taking your pills? Make sure you take your pills. You need your pills. And so he's getting sick. She was hoping that when his mom died, he would turn to her for comfort, since she was a safety net, which would lead to them getting back together like it always did in the past. She faced a minimum of 5 years and a max of 25 in prison. But in April 2007, defense attorney Christopher Peely argued in his closing statement, however, that there was no motive for why Connolly would want to kill her boss and good friend. The prosecution's evidence is flimsy and circumstantial, Peely said, calling the whole case disjointed and difficult to understand. He said Conley had no motive whatsoever, and in fact, it was a negative motive, because not only did she lose her boss, but she lost a very good friend to her. Assistant District Attorney Lori Lisi said that she had plotted and planned for months. She said that her DNA was found on the viral colchicine found in Adam Yoder's car. An anonymous letter tipped off the police where to find the vial, and she even admitted that she was the author of the anonymous letter. They also found that she had bought 2 prepaid cards from a local grocery store, which police said that she admitted to purchasing, and she used them to buy the colchicine. The first time Connolly tried to buy the drug, she tried to use a 10% off discount coupon to save money on it. So that was probably a bad idea on that part. I get you want to save money, honey, but hello. During trial in May of 2017, the jury was not able to come up with a verdict and was determined a hung jury. It took 5 months for the next trial to start, but this time they gave the option of first-degree manslaughter on the table. But even then, the jury still could not come up with a verdict. But this time, judge was like, ain't having it. So he told them, you're going to go back and you're going to deliberate again. Which, of course, ta-da, guilty of first-degree murder. At the sentencing, Adam Yoder said he regretted ever bringing Connolly into his family's life. As much as I hate her, which is more than I ever thought I would be capable of hating anybody, I hate myself indefinitely more. I introduced her to my family. I got her a job with my parents. And if I hadn't have done those things, my mother would still be alive. Police even said that if Katie never would have written that letter, she more than likely would have gotten away with murder, which is pretty scary. But instead, she got 23 years in the New York penitentiary. The family of Kaitlyn Conley has hired John Sarando of Syracuse to handle the appeal of her conviction. And her sisters organized a letter writing campaign supporting her character and proclaiming her conviction was wrongful. I don't understand how they could say that when she admitted to writing the note. She admitted to buying the prepaid cards. Clearly, she wanted Adam back, and she didn't care what it took to get him back. It's a very sad story, and it just goes to show you how freaking evil people are. As close as you think somebody is to you, you might not be as close as you think. If you would like to comment on this podcast, drop me a line. I'd like to know your thoughts. Do you think she got what she deserved? Do you think she should have gotten more? Do you think they got it wrong? There are so many different ways now that you can listen to the podcast. I am now on iHeartRadio and Pandora, which is so exciting. Also, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, I'm there. You can also go over to the website, crimeovercocktails.com. You can also check out the merch. If you would like to become a Patreon and get you some free merch, head on over to crimeovercocktails.com or Patreon, Crime Over Cocktails, but with 2 S's. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. I hope everybody has a great day. Go Bucks! And we shall talk crime another time.